it's Tori here today with December 18th in my December daily. So this is what the 17th looked like. It's just a little flip with a pull-out card, and I really love the way that it worked out. So today I'm going to be working on the 18th, and I just have this one photo. The 18th was a Sunday, and I went to church, and I have a really important story that I want to tell that has to do with this photo. So I'm just going to put my album aside, and I'm going to create something that I can stick in my album with that. Now, I really liked how the 17th had that flip, so I was kind of inspired and wanted to try to do something similar today, some kind of pocket or something. I didn't want to put it in a page protector, mostly just because there's only one photo, so I felt like maybe I could make some kind of tag or flip or something to go in there. I pulled out a bunch of my packaging and tags and things just to see if there was anything that I thought could work. I really like these craft envelopes. I can't remember where they came from, but I've had them for about a year and a half or so. And I think that could be fun. I could stick the photo in and stick some journaling, so maybe that. Or I could just stick a tag in and punch holes in it. I do have some envelopes as well that would be cute. This one kind of ties up. I got this in some Happy Mail last Christmas, so that might be an option. There's some glassine bags here. I think some of these are going to be too little, so I won't use those. I love this little canvas bag. That's from Felicity Jane. It was one of the packaging, so I thought that could work. I also have this clear bag, which is the right size. This pink one, something from Etsy came in, another glassine bag, some more envelopes and things. I'm just trying to pick what I want my thing to go into. Originally, I really wanted to use one of these, and just because they're so pretty, they're cracked with gold's like glitter on them. However, they're not huge, and I have a lot of journaling I want to write for today. So I think that they're going to be pretty tight. Like a tag fits in there, but pretty much just like one tag, I think. Well, you can fit a couple tags in there. But then where would I put the photo? I could even just stick it on the back or something like that. I might do that for a different day. So that's one idea. Part of the reason I don't want to do that is I have a story that I want to tell. So I think I kind of want to use something a little bigger. So I'm just going to move the small things aside. I really love this little baggie, and I definitely want to try to use it. I think that could work because I could stick the photo in there with some journaling cards or tags, and I could write my story on there, and I could either like punch holes right in this or use like something. Okay. I also really like just like a white envelope. I think I'm gonna use this. Why not? It's super cute. So, first things first, do I want to punch holes in here or not? I have these tab stickers, which I got at my local scrapbooking store, which I've been using these, and they work really well. Teresa at Larkin Design showed me these for the first time, and they're amazing. I kind of like the idea of this because then I don't have to punch holes in this. I'm just afraid that if I punch holes in this, it might fray. So I'm gonna use it like this. So what I need to decide is where I want my bag to kind of hang out. So this is the page before. I like the idea of it being kind of at the top, so this can kind of hang down, and it kind of lines up with that really nicely. Could even have it a little higher if you wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna do it there. Although it might be more secure if I stick it in the middle. Conundrums. Because I could stick one tab down there and one up there. I think I'll just do one like I wanted to. So I'm just going to use this page protector to help me know where to stick it. So I want it to come at the top of the thing. And just kind of stick it to the bag. Hopefully this stays on there. It's not the most secure, but maybe I can add a staple in it or two. And I only need one of those tabs because it only is going to stick at the top, so I can save the other one for later. And this feels pretty secure. I mean, it's not like perfect, but it is pretty secure. But what I want to do is just add a couple staples. It'll help reinforce it, but it'll also just look cute. So I'll just put one staple here and one staple there. And then I know that it won't come off. And I just love staples. So you still get all that space in the bag to stick your things, but you know that your holes are secure and it won't fray either. Okay, so I have this photo. Now this is a photo of me at church. Yep, during the pastor's sermon I snagged a photo. And the reason I really want to include this in my album is not just because I went to church on Sunday, which I do every Sunday, but I feel like it kind of tells a bigger story. So if you watched my December daily from last year, you'll know that a week before Christmas, my dad, who's a pastor, lost his job. He got laid off. Like the church couldn't afford to pay him anymore. There were 3 pastors and they just couldn't support 3 pastors. And it was honestly one of the hardest times of my entire life. And I'll tell you why. I mean, it might sound funny to say that, but the truth is that, like, if you are a believer, you go to church, you'll understand what I mean by this. But your church is like your family, it's your community, it's where all your friends are, it's where you spend a lot of your time. It's like a really special place in your life, and the church that my dad was at was that for me. It was like it was the first church that I've ever really felt like at home. I felt like I had a family there, and I just loved going to church. I had so many friends there, and I felt like I was, I don't know, doing really well. And when my dad lost his job, got laid off or whatever, it kind of felt like I was losing my family. And I was losing something really important to me because I couldn't really go to that church anymore just because how everything went down. That's not the best explanation, but that's what you get. And so I just, for about a year, so my dad lost his job right before Christmas last year, and I would say it wasn't until September this year that I finally felt like I picked a church and started going there and spending more time at this one church. And the people there have just been so incredibly friendly and encouraging, and it's kind of exciting to me to feel like maybe I could find a new place that I love or a new home. Oh, that's kind of cute. I might use that journaling card. So I want to write that all in my journaling today, because I feel like if you were looking at last year's, you would see there was a page where I had some hidden journaling and I didn't really talk about what happened, but I talked about kind of how emotional it was and how hard it was and everything. And this year I kind of like the idea of including something similar, but something just saying like things are getting better and I've started to find a new place where I can belong. So yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going through all my journaling cards just to see if there's any that I want to include. Ooh, that's pretty. I can't believe I haven't used that yet. Okay, so this is one of my printables. I definitely want to try to use that. And I pulled out these Project Life cards. They just have journaling lines on them. which I thought would be kind of cute just to do the just regular old journaling lines. And then I grabbed this one. I think it's from one of the Felicity Jane kits, and it just has the days of the week on it, which I thought would be cute for like a Sunday church kind of thing. Oh, I definitely want to use this. Oh, how he loves us. So these gold foil cards, I believe I got at Studio Calico 2 years ago or whenever. I don't know, a long time. And I feel like this one, Oh, How He Loves Us, kind of sums up how I was feeling that day when I was sitting there in church and thinking about how it was only like a year ago that I was like left devastated, thinking like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? I've kind of lost my family, lost my community. And so I want to try to include that. Just seeing if there's any other cards in here that might make an appearance. I think I'll just stick with what I have there. So I want to back this photo on something. And I have this printable, so this is one of the free printables that I designed. If you want to get a hold of those free printables, head over to my blog, toribissell.com, and you can find those. And so the printable is black and white, but I added some spray mist and some gold to it just to add a little something to it. And I feel like the gold will go really nice with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back the photo on here so that there's something on the back of the photo. And I'm going to use my score tape for that. I'm not going to make you sit through watching me do this. I'm also going to add my journaling, and when I come back, I'll show you what it all looks like. Okay, so I added my journaling. So what I did was I backed each of the things with a card. So on the back of these journaling cards were lines that went this way, which didn't really work for my idea here. So I backed the photo with that printable. I backed this one with that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Sunday. The back of that says, Oh, How He Loves Us. And then the back of this just has stripes. And I just trimmed around them so that they would be the perfect fit. What I want to do on this card, however, is round the corners just so it matches the other one. So I think it's about a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to round this. This one is slightly smaller just because my Canon Selfie does not print a true 3x4, but that is okay, I don't mind. So I've got my photo on there, and then I've got 3 journaling cards and kind of like a little booklet there. So I just want to kind of finish this off, and then what I'll do is I'll stick this into the pocket. So one of the first things that I feel like it needs is I feel like it needs something right here, a label or something to go there. So I'm just gonna, I have this jar here which has a bunch of like die cuts, and I'm wondering if there's anything in here that I could use. So some of these are from Felicity Jane, some come from other places. Just want to see. Even a blank one could work. However, I think the blank ones are in a different jar. Home Sweet Home would be kind of cute since the journaling kind of has to do with home. I really like that. I think that that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to read you guys the journaling so that you can know what it says. So it says, last year when my dad was let go or laid off at Eastridge, my heart was broken. Not only was I losing a church I loved, but I was being forced to leave behind family and friends. Eastridge was the first church I've ever felt at home at. It was such a hard time, and just before Christmas too. For about 9 months, I wandered from church to church feeling lost, lonely, and deeply hurt. I didn't know where to go, and nothing felt right. Finally, I landed in the pew at Into One. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe, comfortable, and at home. Everyone was so friendly. It's not family or home yet, but I feel hopeful for the future, and I can hear God calling me home. So this die cut of Home Sweet Home definitely applies. I kind of want to just add a little bit of washi tape. I have this black gingham washi tape from Felicity Jane, and I used it a lot at the beginning of my album, but I haven't actually used it in a while, so it might be cute to bring that back. Just want to have a strip of it here. And then I can just add this Home Sweet Home right there. You just have a little pop of that gingham right out the front there. Now, one of the things I like to do when I make little booklets like this is add numbers to them. That way if they get out of order, you'll be able to put them back in order. So I know that I have a stamp set somewhere that has numbers on it. Just need to find it. So I could use those numbers or those numbers. I kind of like the idea of the little numbers. Just think that they'll fit better. So 1, 2, 3. Super cute. And I think what I'm going to do, or I think what I decided to do was just to use this metal ring. I kind of wish it was smaller, but that's okay. And I'm just going to punch a hole in the top corner of all of these cards, and then I can put it on the ring. But I could also use ribbon. Ribbon would be cute. I have this gold glitter paper, and this comes from my local scrapbooking store, but I know you can order it online. It's American Crafts dual tone glitter paper. So what I'm going to do, whoops, is punch out 4 circles using this circle punch, and this is a Recollections, I think, brand. Yep, Recollections 5 and an 1/8 inch quarter. And then what I can do is just add that there. So now all I need to do is just punch the hole in the middle. And what I forgot is that it's easier to do this before you punch it into a circle. So my suggestion would be to punch the holes in the paper first and then add the circles. So I think what I'm going to do is just add a little tiny bit of glue, stick this to the circle, and then just punch through it. Okay, there we go. I've added my little gold rimmed page hole protectors. They're so cute. I love those. And then I can just kind of line them all up, and then I can put the hole ring or jump ring, whatever you call this thing, right through it. And I've made my own little book, and you can flip through it, and it's numbered so that if you if for some reason they got all the way around, you wouldn't have a hard time knowing where the beginning was. So there we go. That's really cute, and that's just gonna stick right in there. Now the only thing I'm thinking of is this jump ring is kind of bulky, so I might end up replacing that, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as is. Now I'm almost done for today's project, sorry, but what I need to do is add my number for today, so I believe I'm working on the 18th. There we go, I have my number. So I'm just trying to decide whether I want to stick that in the middle or off to the side. And I kind of like it off to the side, so I'm just going to add a dollop of hot glue and stick it down. And there we go. That is it for December 18th. I have my little baggie here that came from Felicity Jane. I'm just going to leave those strings hanging off to the side like that. I like that. I've got my holes there, just using that tab. And then inside, you've got this little booklet that tells an important story. And you can kind of just flip through the cards just like that. And that's going to look really cute in my album. So why don't we stick it in there and see what it looks like. Here's my album. I had just pulled those pages out for a second, so I'm just going to stick them back in. So that's the 17th, and that's the 18th. Just move this over, and there you go. 16, 17, 18. And you know what, I was right, that metal rim is kind of bulky, so I think what I'm going to do is just replace it with some ribbon, but I'll do that later once I decide what I want to do. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for checking out December 18th in my December Daily. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment below. Thanks for commenting, liking, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. It honestly means the world to me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If you want to see some detailed shots, head over to my blog, toribissell.com. I'm a couple days behind on my blog, but I'm hoping to get it all caught up really soon. So this week, it's going to be caught up, I promise. So check out that. If you don't have any questions, you don't want to see the detailed shots, not to worry. I will see you tomorrow for another December Daily video, December Daily 19. Bye!